And already the second group is ready to go as we set it up for you. And look across the lines. We're talking here. The Alanabi car. That's Larry Dixon. Terry McMillen, he's over there next to the Alanabi car in lane number 3. And Dominic Lagana, why we're hesitating here is Lagana pulled to the wrong lane. He was supposed to be in lane number 2. Sean Langdon in lane number 1.
I would have that same problem. Only racing 2 is pretty obvious. You got one or the other, but with 4 lanes here. We were looking at scoring, and the scoring was different from the lane he was going into. We're going, what the heck's going on?
But you were saying focus is really the key here. You got to really stay more than double focused because there's so much going on around you.
Well, as a driver, it's like you kind of depend on your guys to tell you which lane to go to. So hopefully he's more focused on the tree than he was at getting into the right lane.
Let's go to Gary Gerald.
Well, Paul, it's a very special challenge for members of the safety safari here in a somewhat confined area on the top end. Not only are they juggling 4 race cars, but tow rigs. You've got more than 20 crew members. You've got manufacturer representatives, PR representatives. You've got television crews. It's a scramble of activity. It's really precise for them because they've got to be efficient, because for Coletta and Massey, who are moving on to the next round, they want to get back to the pits and get prepared for that next round of competition. It's all this activity is kind of like going to the circus, and like going to the circus, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, but you be careful up there, Gary. Back on the line now, as we'll show you what the weather is, and it is, in a word, beautiful. Look at those skies, 72 degrees.
I want to say perfect. And look at that track temperature for the first round, at least. It's very good, under 100 degrees. Very dry air. Look at the water grains, 29 equals about 25% humidity. That means it's going to be very easy to make some horsepower. But the key, as we saw with that first group, is getting it hooked up to the racetrack.
It is all about horsepower management. That's what every crew chief down here today is talking about, Mike Dunn. As far as track prep goes, everybody agrees the NHRA Safety Safari did an incredible job of trying to get lanes 1, 2, 3, and 4 equal. It does appear, though, unlike last year where lanes 1 and 2 were going to be favored, we're probably going to see some good times out of 3 and 4. So a lot of crew chiefs with a lot of decisions to make. Number 1, how to get their car ready to manage that horsepower today. And then ultimately, if you've got lane choice, which one of the 4 do you take?
Well, so far, the first ones with the lane choice have taken lane number 4. Doug Coletta had the first choice. This group, Larry Dixon, he's in lane number 4.
All 4 burnouts complete now. Sean Langdon, Terry McMillen, Dom Lagana, and Larry Dixon. Those are the guys on the line. 2 of these will advance to the next round.
You got to look at, you take a look at Sean Langdon. I mean, Sean really looked pretty good in qualifying. Struggled a little bit, but came back in that last session, went a 3:85 elapsed time, which was a very nice run. You look at his record from this year, he's always very good off the starting line, but he's been a little bit off this season.
This is his 100th round of competition. Stat guy.
Let's talk about last year's 4-wide race. Let's talk about reaction time. The best guy was Sean Langdon in round number 1, a 46, and round number 2, a 49 light. By far the best lights of any driver last year at this event.
Terry McMillen, he's got the onboard camera, one of the few drivers to get down the track in session 3.
Then you take a look at Dominic Lagana. His last season, he has a 3- and 4-round record. And remember, in Las Vegas, he went the final round, ran very well. You see all the crew chiefs, as you take a look at Larry Dixon there, hands way up to signal everybody so they can see all the cross when they know they're ready to make the final adjustments and send their drivers in the stage.
Rick Stewart, he's right there in the center. He's got a couple of assistant starters. This thing is complicated. We're pre-staging, top of the light. Everybody's pre-staged. Again, the 2 middle lanes proved to be an issue. Larry Dixon runs a 380, a 385 for Sean Langdon. So the first of the 2 to move forward will be Larry Dixon, followed by Sean Langdon.
tell you, the three drivers were pretty good to half track, and then Terry McMillen kind of fell off a little bit. But Larry Dixon and Sean Langdon, very nice passes down the track. They also had very good reaction times, both in the 060 range. So I think all the drivers are getting used to that. Take a look at Dom Lagana. He spun the tires pretty much right off of the hit of the throttle. But let's take a look at Terry McMillen. He had a nice reaction time, 070 range. And then, right there, he started spinning the tires, and then the cylinders went out. That's why he slowed down on the top end, but he was right there up to that point.
And take a look at the reaction times in all four lanes there.
That's pretty much good lights for everybody.
Let's go to Gary Gerald.
Spencer Massey was watching that second group up here on our monitor, graciously standing by. What's it like from a driver's standpoint versus a spectator standpoint? Because you've experienced both here in the last few minutes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. You know, this is 4-wide drag racing, and that's what it is. It's 4 wide and 4 times the amount of power, 4 times the amount of noise, and 4 times the excitement. I mean, we won the round when at 84. I mean, this Pram car got down through there. It wasn't the best in qualifying, but all that matters is race day. Right now, we're going to the second round. I don't know who we're going to race, but it doesn't matter. This Fram car, that's what it's all about.
He's at the circus, guys. We're having fun.
That's
He's
right.
got the attitude.